What's happening, you guys? Superhero Reactor here. Now, part 2. This is the part 2 of my reaction for Spider-Man, the Star Trek Critic. The other half of the video. Because damn, it was like 41 minutes. Now we're up to, I'm guessing, 20 more minutes of it? I'm guessing. But let's see what happens, huh? Here we go. Let's continue in 3, 2, 1. Booyah!
So the one over-the-top element everyone can seem to get behind in these movies is J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson. He's the fast-talking head of the Daily Bugle, and despite him really having no reason to hate Spider-Man, he does it so well, I don't think anybody cares.
Tomorrow morning, Spider-Man, page 1 with a decent picture this time. Move Conway to page 7.
There's a problem with page 7.
I make it page 8 and give him 10% off. Okay. Make it 5%.
That can't be done.
Get out of here!
How's this for a story? Kids today don't even know what newspapers are! Peter bumps into Mary Jane and discovers she's dating Harry. But Harry hasn't brought this up to Peter despite them living together.
Hey, Pete, you're probably looking for a job. Dad, maybe you can help him out.
Oh!
No, I appreciate it.
Peter discovers he could get a job taking pictures of Spider-Man, so he sets up cameras hoping a crime will conveniently happen in front of them.
Oh boy. Yeah.
So, you're Spider-Man.
Maybe 300. That's a standard freelance fee.
Peter takes the check to Betty, played by Elizabeth Banks, who welcomes him to the Daily Bugle.
Welcome to the Daily Bugle.
Thank you.
My wig has a good feeling about you, but it's also advising me to direct Charlie's Angels. At Oscorp, Norman seems to be top of the world, sending the business to new heights. So of course he's fired.
You're out, Norman.
Norman tries getting revenge at a Raise Awareness for Better Balloon Effects festival, starring 2002's most 2002 performer, Macy Gray.
Yeah.
Why didn't you wear the black dress? I wanted to impress my father. He loves black.
Well, maybe he'll be impressed no matter what.
Twitter's gonna freak if they see you wearing that. James Franco's audition to play Tommy Wiseau in 3, 2.
Oh, hi, Mr. Fargus.
Norman finally reveals himself to the world as the Green Goblin, and it's just as dumb looking as you remember it.
Hello, my dear.
Now, I'm not going to pretend this is an easy character to bring into a three-dimensional world, but look at these other concepts. When you see what we could have gotten, it hits you even more how Pez dispensary he looks. Things don't get much better when Spider-Man arrives. I mean, they do, just not in the way I think the movie intends. This action sequence, after not having watched it for years, is one of the craziest goddamn things I've ever seen. Just look at this as an adult, with the weird imagery, shitty effects, and over-the-top acting, and tell me this isn't a drunken Power Ranger battle. Everything about it is totally insane. Look at this kid. Did he get high before coming there? What kind of expression is that? Why doesn't his mom just grab him? He's right there. Is that balloon moving backwards? The fuck? Why does this girl act like she's in a Mentos commercial?
It's Spider-Man!
The Fresh Maker.
Impressive!
What, talking without your lips moving? That fucker's dead. Jesus, that looks awful. Did we even get a shot of Spider-Man standing up, seeing the Goblin coming towards him? We just cut to him running like a stunt show. Did they fast forward Mary Jane? What are they doing? Jesus, that looks awful. What?
We'll meet again, Spider-Man!
Did he just pull it?
I'll get you next time, Gadget.
Is that a dummy or did he die in midair? Why was it hard to get a person in a spider suit to hold her?
Don't mind us, she just needs to use the elevator.
Ha. So as you can see, this entire action sequence is completely nuts. But because of that, it's kind of amazing. I give it 3.5 little WTFs. Yay! Norman begins realizing he may have a split personality. At least that's what the voice in his head is saying. This is scene chewing at its yummiest.
So many good things all happening for you. All for you.
I'm beginning to think you hate glass more than Spider-Man. Is this like your #1 fear?
Bringing you what you've always wanted. There's only one who can stop us.
That moment you realize he was actually underperforming when he played Nosferatu. Norman goes to the Daily Bugle to find Spider-Man's photographer.
Jameson, you slime!
Slime! Oh, chalk that up to another reason this was PG-13.
Who's the photographer who takes the pictures of Spider-Man?
I don't know who he is. His stuff comes in the mail.
You're lying!
I swear.
So Jameson's willing to put his life on the line for Parker? That's like Bluto sticking his neck out for Popeye. It's possible, but you gotta explain it. Spider-Man appears, but Goblin has a way to knock him out. Oh, I do hope it's a silly way.
Sleep.
I love it when it hits you that the main villain of your movie just made a Humphrey the Bear sound effect. Goblin paralyzes Spider-Man and offers him a chance to join Goblin in being crazy.
You and I are not so different.
I'm not like you.
Eventually they will hate you. Why bother?
Because it's right.
And other cliche lines from the 40s. Why doesn't he take his mask off? I mean, he tells him to think about his offer, but why doesn't he just take Spider-Man's mask off to see who he is?
I could take your mask off right now.
I know, but don't.
But I want to.
I don't want you to.
But I could.
But you won't.
Why?
Chicken thigh.
Well, I guess you got me there.
After that, we get, another scene where Peter and Mary just talk. I do hope it feels more like status updates than actual conversation.
How's it going with
Why so interested?
I'm not.
You're not?
Well, why would I be?
I don't know. Why would you be?
I don't know.
What the hell are you even talking about?
I'm not.
You're not?
Well, why would I be?
Why would you be?
You're so beautiful.
It's only because I'm so in love.
Oh. No, it's because I'm so in love with you.
Mary Jane has to be rescued again, this time from kissy faces. Ooh, I saw a hoodlum do that in West Side Story. And I've never seen anyone do that. But Peter changes into Spider-Man to save her.
You have a knack for saving my life. I think I have a superhero stalker.
Who talks like that? You know, Peter, she doesn't know you're Spider-Man. There's no red flags that she's cheating on her boyfriend with a pajamaed criminal while also kind of playing the field with you. This is why all you got was a hug in Spider-Man 3. The next day, we continue our pattern of parents who are awful as a mother leaves her baby in a burning building. Yep, Spider-Man's gonna die in a burning building with a baby. This movie suddenly got super dark on a whim. Well, that was suspenseful. They hear another woman screaming inside, only to discover it's the Goblin.
What about my generous proposal? Are you in or are you out?
It's you who's out, Gobby. Out of your mind.
That line's like a pendulum. The more it repeats, the more you die a little. They fight in the fire with Spider-Man getting his arm injured, but both of them flee, just in time for turkey. Yeah, I'm tired of nobody putting this on their favorite Thanksgiving specials.
Norman, will you do the honors?
Spider-Man, where even sampling sweet potatoes is somehow made weird. Norman notices Peter's wound and immediately figures out he's Spider-Man. Shocking, he kept it a secret so well.
Something has come to my attention.
And just when you think this movie can't be any more... What?
What do I do?
Instruct him in the matters of loss.
But how?
The cunning warrior attacks neither body nor mind.
I just recently saw David Lynch interrogate a monkey. This is weirder. Can you imagine somebody walking in on this supposed intimidating scene and not laughing their ass off?
Hey, Rob, I wanted to get your input on...
What must I do?
Nope, I have to look again.
This leads to, believe it or not, an even crazier ass scene when he crashes in on a praying Aunt May.
Deliver! Finish it! Finish it!
Evil! Oh my god! You can't see anything like this in another comic book movie. It is so precisely odd. I want to see him do this for other things that people should wrap up. Beelzebub has a devil put aside for me.
Finish it!
For me!
Finish it!
For me! She's sent to the hospital where, oh yes! Peter and Mary Jane remain perfectly still in one spot talking again. You know, there's other romantic things you can do. Go to the fair, walk on the beach, not say things in such a creepy-ass manner.
You feel excited, and at the same time, terrified.
Call the police.
Harry sees Mary Jane flirting with Peter, though, and goes to tell his daddy.
I haven't always been there for you, have I? I've lost sight of that somewhere, but I gotta make it up to you, Harry. I'm going to rectify certain inequities.
Good to have you back, Dad. This wasn't cryptic at all.
Wake up, little spider. Wake up.
Eek. Peter wakes up from his terrifying dream as it seems Aunt May is doing better.
You do too much. You're not Superman, you know.
Well, I'd have to get a lot better at breaking necks.
You know, you were about 6 years old when MJ's family moved in. You grabbed me and said, Aunt May? Aunt May? Is that an angel?
I really don't like how many parallels this has to the prequels. Aunt May says everyone knows he's in love with Mary Jane, which gets him thinking he should give her a call.
Hey, MJ!
I need to know if you're an angel.
Hello?
MJ, you're finally laughing at my jokes. It looks like the goblin has kidnapped Mary Jane as well as a car full of kids. You can tell they were saving the really good effects for the climax here. Same year as Gollum!
This is why only fools are heroes.
Spider-Man shows up as Goblin forces him to choose between Mary Jane or the children. Now, anyone who knows the comics knows this is a send-up to when the Green Goblin killed Gwen Stacy on the Brooklyn Bridge. One of the most shocking deaths in comic book history.
Yeah.
But here, we're just gonna do the Batman Forever thing. Because, you know, if you're gonna steal from Batman, might as well be the best one. It's not that they don't kill Mary Jane. I honestly don't think that would have worked here. It's that there's no point in doing it like this if you're not gonna deliver the goods. It'd be like telling the story of Jesus. He heals people, gets to the trial, and then he's found innocent and goes home. There's kind of some big epic stuff you're leaving out. Oh yeah, did I mention this was made right after 9/11?
Leave Spider-Man alone! You gotta pick on a guy trying to save a bunch of kids! You mess with mine, you mess with New York! You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us!
Yeah.
God bless you, your heart's in the right place. Spider-Man saves Mary Jane and the kids, but the Goblin grabs him and takes him to, honestly, the second best fight in the movie. Again, I think that's because there's not a lot of half-ass CGI, and it feels more gritty and grounded. It's even one of the few times the Goblin's mask looks pretty cool. As you can see, Defoe's much scarier teeth inside the fake teeth, giving it a nice creepy vibe. As you'd imagine, Spider-Man finds his strength and ends up beating the Goblin, just as he reveals his identity.
Give me your hand. I've been like a father to you.
You know, a father that tries to kill everything you know and love. A Hollywood father.
I have a father. His name was Ben Parker.
Yeah, and I'm Ray Skywalker. We really are who we choose to be, aren't we? He accidentally nails himself and his goblins as he makes one last request to Peter.
Don't tell Harry.
Well, I guess you did try to kill my girlfriend and Aunt May and me. You know, fuck you, I'm telling Harry. No, I guess he keeps his dumb scouts on her and returns Norman home where Harry finds him.
I'm so sorry, Harry.
I swear on my father's grave, Spider-Man will pay.
You know, the word on the street is the X-Men did this. That Dazzler's a real psycho.
Well, here we are at the funeral of our best friend's father. Want to go out?
There's something I've been wanting to tell you. When I was up there was only one person who I was thinking of.
The person I've stood still and talked 5 times having the most boring of conversations with! It's love! Dull, monotonous love!
I love you so much, Peter.
But Peter, in order to keep her safe, turns down her advances.
Yep.
Because that's totally how it's always gonna be, guys.
I will always be your friend.
Only your friend?
That's all I have to give. Whatever life holds in store for me, I will never forget these words.
Bros before hoes.
With great power comes great responsibility.
He swings towards an amazingly convincing American flag that totally wasn't put in at the last minute. And that's the end of Spider-Man.
It certainly is.
So, Critic, with all the jokes and mockery you made of this movie, has anything changed for you since you last saw it?
Yeah, but it hasn't just changed for me, it's changed for you too.
Oh yeah? What's that?
Comic book movies. You see, back then there weren't that many, and I was waiting for the equivalent of The Dark Knight to come out, something that took comic book films super seriously. Instead, I got this, something silly, over the top, and mostly innocent. So I always kind of resented it, thinking we could get a much more serious Spider-Man movie. But now that we have films like The Dark Knight and even more serious Spider-Man movies, I can finally enjoy how one-of-a-kind this series is.
But it's so ridiculous!
Yeah, everything in it is so campy and goofball.
But that's part of the fun. Its cons are also its pros. If you don't take it that seriously and just embrace the hilariously sugar-coated world, it is kind of fun. It's paced well, it's a decently laid out origin story, and its angles and imagery are very old school comic book. I know it takes liberties, but if you compare it to the liberties other comic book movies took at the time, this one actually stayed closer than others. And yes, this was the movie that arguably made the biggest impact in getting comic book films going again. And for that to be an innocent, gentle cornball flick instead of an extreme, dark, hardcore bloodfest, it's actually rather impressive. It's funny, a lot of younger people that grew up with this find themselves disliking it as they get older, but since I watched it with a more cynical mind and the cinematic environment around me has changed, I actually find myself enjoying it. If I focus on the passion and creativity rather than the details. I think this movie's gonna have a different reaction with different ages at different times. And you know what? If it broadens your point of view, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Well, there it is.
Yes, there it is.
So, do we like this movie or not?
Well, I guess the little kid in me is always going to like it, and the adult in me is always going to find problems with it, darling.
And the good news is, there's nothing wrong with that. Whatever you feel towards a movie is okay to feel.
Well, I guess we were trying to grow up a bit too fast.
Come on, Benny, let's put on our Spider-Man pajamas and watch the Raimi films again.
With alcohol.
Oh yeah, of course with alcohol. We have to enjoy some perks of adulthood. There's nothing even in these goddamn things.
I'm the Nostalgia Critic, and whether sober or plastered, Spider Month is just beginning!
Can I wait?
I'd like a cheeseburger.
Like a cheeseburger. I knew it. Okay, I had to stop right there because I know there was a little sponsor they putting in. So, yeah. Anyway, laugh a few because that was really funny. Mostly the one with Norman Osborn talking to himself with a helmet. I realized how ridiculous that was. It's hard to criticize and laugh out loud all the way. That is purely hilarious. Let me tell you guys something. I still love the first Spider-Man of 2002. That was the first feature film they ever made of 2002. I went to see it in theaters, and it was brilliant. It was awesome. A little corny, yes, but it was really awesome. Spider-Man 2, it was not that bad. It was great, but it was not that bad. But a little corny, a little there. And let's just say that Spider-Man 3 just, I can't stand it. Yeah. I'm hoping that Nostalgia Critic can make fun of Spider-Man 3. Oh yes, I cannot wait for him to review Spider-Man 3. I hope so, because I think this week it's going to be Spider-Man 2. Probably like next week he's going to review Spider-Man 3. Woo! Oh well. Guess we'll just have to wait for that one. So guys, if you like my reaction, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to comment below. Tell me what you thought of this awesome review of Spider-Man Nostalgia Critic. The Spider-Man 1 in 2002. Funny, very funny, but it was a good review. It was pretty good review. I'm gonna have to send this to my friend of mine who always watch the Subject Credit, but he hasn't seen it yet, so I probably would now. But anyway, guys, that's it for me. This is Superhero Reactor saying I'll see you guys next time, and don't forget, give me a superhero trailer and I'll react. Until the next review, Spider-Man 2.